So good afternoon. So let me start the today's session. So we have in the last Saturday's session, we have seen a few of the concepts, that is a few of the tracings we have seen. So I just forwarded and I expected any sort of queries on that, whether you have followed the tracing for that pyramid program. So no replies from it. So let us see in one or any other programming concepts. So whether you have understood. So I have shown you the tracing for two for outer loops within inner side many times. So no one has replied regarding it. So let me do once again, not today. Today I'll go with some other programming concepts and important things that is needed for your internal. Okay. So we just started asymptotic notations, introduction to data structures. We just started, right? Types of data structures we have covered, and we just started on the concept of arrays. Okay. In that the types of arrays, a single dimensional array we have seen, and also what are the things that we have to do in the case of array, that is allocation of a array, insertion, deletion of an array we have seen. Is it or not? So with that, we'll go for a further concept, that is multi-dimensional array. I have not kept multi-dimensional array for internal, still single dimensional array I have kept all the concepts. Okay. So in single dimensional array, what you have to do is how the linearly the numbers are being arranged, and the structure of an array you have to specify, right? How do you specify, and what are the operations of an array? We have studied traversal, and along with that we have studied search. Sorry, no, search we have not. It's insertion and deletion we have seen, and we need to look into the sorting concept. Okay. So when you, it is a traversal first concept algorithm for creating an array, that is how do you store using index element we have seen, right? Traversing is nothing but fetching the data, right? Understand, traversing nothing but, so imagine this is a compartment. So you stored something into it, right? You have stored 10, 20, 30, all those things. How do you retrieve what is there in the memory of this location? What is there in the memory of this location? So this we are going to fetch it. Okay. So that is a concept. Now, now what we have to do is how do you search an element? So searching an element is a like the searching of a memory, whereas when it comes to the insertion and deletion, that's this we have seen, because I'll give you one question on searching. Okay, so I'll show you that. So these are all the various questions we have collected from the book. Okay, so from first module maybe you'll get few of the programs that what I did in the class, and in the second module, so you'll get uh, a concept, what is an algorithm, asymptotic notations, what is asymptotic notation, the concept of asymptotic notations, right? And few questions on what is an array traversal, why it is used. Okay, what is an array? And you may be asked to write an algorithm for insertion and deletion. Okay, what are the typical operations associated with the array? Explain. So in that, so the question could be, what are the typical operations associated with an array? Explain any one or as such. So today let us see, let us review that. So insertion and deletion was the major thing. So what is traversal? How do you understand traversal of a program? So traversal is nothing but you have a memory, you have to fetch the data. This I have repeated many times in the class. How do you fetch the data of array 0? When it comes to the insertion and deletion, very important. So how does the insertion is being achieved? So why I'm repeating, because this is being needed for your internal, right? Explain various operations associated with a single dimensional array. Explain any one. So in the case of insertion, what happens? This is already existing memory. I want to insert something in between or at the end. If at the end there is no issue, simply you will insert at memory allocation a of 5. You simply allocate at a of 5 is been filled with 4. Imagine that to the same array, I want to insert at the location called a of 2. A of 2. So what is there in a of 2? A of 2 sorry, this is the original location. In a of 2, 5 is there. So this has to be replaced with the 4. This has to be replaced with the 4. So how do you do this? How do you do this? You simply put up the memory of a of 2 to a of 3. That is, a of 2 will be incremented with what is a of 2? 5 is there, no? So I will put a of 2 at the location called a of 3. So how do you do that? Simply making 2 plus 1. I will shift this memory. Shifting memory means shifting the element. Remember, shifting the memory means shifting the elements. I am shifting a of 2 to a of 3. So I am shifting the memory of a of 2 to a of 3. So what is there in a of 2? 5 is there? No, that will be shifted to a of 3. Similarly, I am shifting a of 3 to a of 4. Remember, when you shift the memory, the value of this memory also will be shifted. So that is important. So in the algorithm, what you will write? You will simply increment I equals to I plus 1, right? So you will increase 2. 2 will be equals to 2 plus 1 will be 3. So that is what the concept is. If you are really hearing to my session, shifting the memory will shift the value also. See, I have shifted a of 2. A of 2 will be shifted to the next memory. So what happens? 5 will be shifted to, when you shift, that is shifting means it is not that simply shifting 2 plus 1. When you shift 2 plus 1, what is 2 plus 1? It is 3. So to the 2 plus 3 value will be shifted, right? The 22 value of memory of a of 3 will be shifted to a of 4. The memory of a will be shifted to. So, and in between all, you will simply add to the memory of a of 2 the 4. So this I had explained once. So this with diagrammatically you have to explain this operation, insertion of an array, and the algorithm for it is being given over here. So what you will do, initialize I equals to 1. What you do? Okay, see here, array insertion. Okay, start, stop, insert an element p at the index location k. You see here, I have shifted a of I plus 1 equals to a of I, right? So this is like, how do you read? A of I will be moved up to a of I plus 1. A of 2 will be moved out to a of 3. So the content of a of 2 will be moved to the memory of a of 3. The content of 2 will be moved to a of 3. As such, it moves. Okay. And you go on in decrement because you started from front, that is at the end, from beginning, so that you could see in the program. So this is a memory. First, you need to display the content of an array. That is, how do you display the content of an array? Now at the position, enter the element to be inserted. You enter the element over here. Which element to be entered? 19 has to be entered. So at which location it has to be entered? Where 19 is to be inserted? At the location number 1. See here, if you are, is it visible? Hopefully. See, if the screen is visible, I'll just enlarge. So at location a of 1 has to be replaced with a new element called 19. So at this moment, what happens? You just try to analyze the shiftings of this memory a of 1. A of 1 is to be shifted to a of 2. A of 2 to be shifted to a of 3. A of 3 should shift to the memory, the value of a of 4. Similarly, you need to create a new memory called 5. So this will be shifted to, so 77. So a of 4 should be shifted to the new memory location, that is called here 7 to the new memory. So 77 will be shifted. Okay, as such it moves. Clear? So I'll go with one more program today. fine. So what you could see over here is one more thing. Now let me go to the program. So what had happened? See, new array element a of 5 has been created, and the a of 4 has been shifted to 77. I equals to I plus 1. So first, how do you create this new element? So when it has to be inserted. So how do you see this? See here. First, initialize I equals to n, I equals to n, and I equals to n, I greater than equals to k, I minus minus. That is, it was initialized I equals to k is nothing but to the number of location where exactly it has to be inserted at the first position, I greater than or equals to 1. See how it works. Imagine I equals to the number of maximum memory is 5. Okay, I equals to 5, initialize. Okay, whether 5 is greater than or equals to the memory location where you want to insert k. What is k over here? You could see k is 1. So as per the program downside, we have seen the output 5 greater than or equals to 1. Is it 5 greater than equals to n? Yes. So what you have to do, increment a of I plus 1. What is I plus 1 is 6. 6, no? 5 plus 1 is 6. So you shift I 6 equals to 5, make memory location 5 as 6. What I stated, memory location of 5 will be shifted to 6. This is first iteration. In the decrement loop, it is I equals to 4. Again I equals to 4. The next iteration, what happens is 4 greater than or equals to k is fixed. Yes, 4 greater than equals to it. Again shift memory location of 5 equals to 4. This will be loop will be repeated until you reach over here, that is 1 greater than equals to 1. Yes, when 1 greater than equals to 1, so what happens, the new memory location will be inserted. Right, this is the way you have to sit down and trace, then you'll understand this program very easily. So you have to write in exam the majorly this part, because this is a programming part where the insertion is being done. This is the expected answer from your side, and you have to write this algorithm also. This algorithm you have to write. This algorithm you have to write. Fine. So this is one of the program for array insertion. Similarly, I may ask you the array deletion, right? Single dimensional array deletion. How do you do array deletion? It is same as if like insertion. So that is, we are going to update the updation of the index identifier. So we'll see how exactly it is for 5 minutes. Then we'll go for one more program that is with examination point of view. I'm doing it so that logically you understand and execute a program, right? So here is the initial array element after is deleted from the end. So simply you deleted a of 4 at the end, but let us see in the algorithm how exactly it is being done. Imagine if the array index at 2 has to be deleted. So a of 2 already 5 is there. It has to be deleted. A of 2 has to be deleted. And this has to be shifted. See, this has to be shifted. This has to be shifted. And 77, this becomes empty. A of 4 becomes empty. So this is a concept. It is same as if like shifting, right? So in this case, how do you achieve it? Let us see. So in terms of a program, see, we are shifting. Imagine again, it is a reverse. See here, we are shifting. In this case, there we are increasing. No, we are inserting means array goes on increasing, right? Array goes on increasing. See, this is a reverse. Remember, the algorithm is reverse. You are making the array small. That's it. Right? Understand. In the case of insertion, insertion means in. I'll write the code insertion. So del means deletion. So when you insert, definitely the array size has to be enlarged. No. So imagine that the array will grow one more size. You are inserting. So deletion means already this is an existing array. So you are deleting one of the memory location in between or at the end. So obviously array size has to be decreased. No. So that is what the concept says, that when you do insertion or the deletion, so in the case of deletion, the array you are reducing it. That is, you are making a of I plus 1 as a of I. You are just reducing. For example, if you write the concept here, 2 equals to 3. Index 3 becomes 2. Index 3 becomes 2. So this is what the concept of deletion. So let me, this is a algorithm we have written. See, major thing what that you have to focus in the algorithm is this, always this line, right? Then what you have to do is, so this I have already done in one of the class. I'm just repeating it because you should have a confidence, because no reply from your side. I asked you, have you followed the tracing of that particular pyramid program? I traced it for 2 iterations and forwarded in the group. Nobody responded because that was a requirement from your end, pyramid program. So still there are many big pyramid programs. So frankly speaking, I'll show you that also. So very simple pyramid programs, half pyramid, full pyramid asset. So in the case of deletion, see here. So if you first see the output always, so which elements to be deleted? Index elements belong to 3 to be deleted. That is 22. When you delete it, I said it will shift. No, see, array of 3 will be shifted. So same for the concept, you have to write, this is a darken thing. So how do you write? So I equals to, say we are incrementing I plus plus. Previously it was decrementing, no? So I equals to 2, in which index you have to delete it. I less than or equals to n minus 2. So why is? Because you are going in a, you're going decreasing a array. For example, if you want to trace this just for a while, so imagine index element 3 is to be deleted, where index element 3 is 22, no? Index element is 22, so it has to be deleted, right? So how do you do it? See here. Now imagine I equals to k, where enter the index selection where the element is to be deleted. K value is 3 as per the program, 3. So when it is 3, I equals to k. So we initialize I equals to k equals to I equals to 3. Okay, then whether I is less than n minus 2, so I less than equals to n minus 2. N minus 2 is 5 minus 2 is 3. 5 is the total size of an array, right? Whether I equals to 3, I less than 3, conditions true, what happens? You will initialize, you will reshift array of I, a of 3 to a of 4. What is the meaning? The meaning is that a of 4 will be shifted to a of 3, right? So it is shifted. So that means a of 3 becomes empty. Try to understand. A of 4 will be shifted to a of 3. By that time, what happens? A of 3 will become empty. Similarly, loop will repeat. Since this is an incremental loop, I equals to 4. I equals to 4, right? Is I less than or equals to 4 minus 2. That is 5 minus 2 is 3. So condition fails. So what is the value of I here? 4. Whether I less than 4 less than 3, condition fails. That way it comes out of the loop. By that time, this element becomes empty. So that is a simple concept. If you sit and iterate, you find it easy, this program. Okay. So next. So expectedly, I could give one pyramid program also for the internal. So I'm telling you a simple pyramid program. Okay. There are many pyramid programs. I don't know whether this program is visible. Last class, few annotations was not able to see it. So it is a half pyramid program. So how do you write? Enter the number of rows. So how do you write this? See, this outer for loop is for the number of this outer for loop, no? This outer for loop is for the number of rows. This inner for loop is for the number of spaces. Okay, very simple. Once you write the space, you write the star, very simple. Then once you complete the line, you have to go to the next line. Again, this is the outer for loop. Loop will repeat, right? Simple example. In this case, you have to print what you have to print. You have to print like this. First, single star, then double star as such. So how do you do? Let us see. So first single star, first line, second line double star, third line 3 stars. Let us trace this only just for the 5 minutes. Okay, what is happening? Enter the number of rows. Imagine you have to go with the rows, or else you should fix up. You should fix I equals to I less than equals to 5. ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so you should fix up, because in your few of the programs maybe he has given you have to go with the 7 columns with 7 pyramid. So that time you fix up this 2 rows equals to 4, right? I equals to 1, I less than equals to rows. So enter the number of rows. The memory you enter as 5. So I less than equals to 5, first iteration. I equals to 1. Okay, I less than equals to number of rows, yes, 5. So first not incremented. How does this is the outer for loop? In the outer for loop, j equals to 1. Okay, so since there is no concept of space, we are not writing the space. Imagine if there is a space, you go one more for loop for space. Now simply you print star, j equals to 1, j less than or equals to I. What is the value of j? J equals to 1, j equals to 1. Okay, j less than or equals to I. What is the value of I? Value of I equals to 1. No, whether 1 less than or equals to 1, yes, j is 1 less than equals to 1. So inner for loop, so what happens? You simply print star, then the inner loop will increment. J equals to 2, 2 less than or equals to 1. See, inner for loop increments. First inner for loop, j equals to 2, whether 2 less than or equals to 1, no, no. So condition fails, it will come out, it will come out. So print the next line, that is, this will be executed, and you come out of the loop and you are here now. Again outer for loop is incremented, I equals to 2, I becomes 2. See, this is the second iteration of the outer for loop. I becomes 2, whether 2 less than or equals to 5, yes. 2 less than, we are into the second row, 2 less than equals to 5, yes. Again inner for loop freshly executes, j equals to 1. Okay, j equals to 1 is j less than or equals to I value. I value is 2 now, yes, it is less, right? What you have to do? Print star. See, print star, first star will be executed, and you have to come out of the inner for loop. No, j is incremented, j is incremented, that is j becomes 2. Is 2 less than or equals to 2, yes, 2 less than or equals to 2. Again print star, second star will be printed. Again j is incremented, you have to come out 3. 3 is 3 less than or equals to 2, no, 3 is not less than equals to 2. So you come out of this, you will not print this, you will come out of this, print next line. So by that time the compiler, the cursor will come over here like this in the way. So I just explained because I don't know how many people I will forward this document. So those who are interested, really interested in pyramid programs, you could go ahead with these, because very good program to understand. Okay, so the tracing, if you could sit and do once, you find it easy. Okay, so there are many programs. For example, see, this is a kind of pyramid. So print like this, and single pyramid inverted, that is goes in reverse. If you follow one program, you find it easy. And coming to your case, that is was what I explained. This is, so in this case, what is this? We have will have of 3 for loops. Sorry, we have one specially for loop for printing the space, one for loop for the number of rows, and for loop or while loop to print the content, right? So this you have seen in the last class program, right? This was the outer for loop for the number of rows, inner for loop for the number of spaces. In this case, you print one column for the content, right? Again, for printing the content, so because this is a special pyramid wherein one has to be printed on left, right, and in the middle it goes on incrementing. See, 1 starting 1 to 1. So we have the concept. This tracing I forwarded you. You need to try to understand. I have shown you. Maybe when you find time again, I'll get that document and I'll explain this. But I need a reply. If you don't reply, I cannot. How can I understand that you are following it or not? Right? Whether you want. So I just forwarded all of you. See, this was the tracing of the program what I have shown you. See, this was the tracing that I was supposed to show you for the program what you have studied. So how does this for loop does works? First for loop, second for loop, third for loop, and printing the line. So I don't know how many people have followed this. So tracing of the first for loop. So tracing the first loop, r equals to 1, phi greater than or equals to 1, first iteration. So what happens? Right? So do we have a space? There is no space. There is no space. See, simply no, you have to take 4 spaces. You have to print the 4 spaces. What it prints here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Outer first insert r equals to 1, yes. Either phi greater than equals to 1, yes. Then you enter over here. Once you enter for loop, this for loop, what happens? SP equals to 4 as per the program. You just have to see the program. 4 greater than equals to 1, yes. So it executes 4 times. This for loop executes 4 times. How does it execute 4 times? 4 greater than 1, 3 greater than 1, 2 greater than 1, 1 greater than, then it comes out. So by that time, what it has to print? It has to print 4 spaces. See, at this end, you have to print the 4 spaces. Once it prints, what happens? You have to print the content. How do you print the content? C equals to 1. For C equals to 1, 1 greater than equals to 2. First iteration, it will print 1. After 4 spaces, it will print. Second iteration, what happens? C will be incremented. Whether 2 less than or equals to 1? No. Right? So what happens? Second 2 is greater than, so it will break. By that time, it will come out. So it fails. 2 less than fails. So it comes out. Again, you have to print the right hand side. No, you have print 1 after 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the right hand side, nothing has to be printed. No spaces also, because we are printing only till here. Right hand side we are not worried. Remember, right hand space we are not worried. Only the content we are worried. So what happens? For x equal to 0, 0 is 0 greater than equals to 1. No condition fails. It will simply come out without printing anything. Okay. So this iteration is completed. So that is first line is printed. So print the next line, then go to the next line. So how do you go to the next line? See, second iteration. Second iteration, r equals to 2. Outer for loop is incremented. For I, r equals to, by this time you have printed this one. So no spaces will be there. I told you this is not the content. Till here we have done. I request you to give the attendance. By that time I'll explain this, all of you. I request you to give the attendance in the chat session. Okay. I'm explaining you the second iteration. In the second iteration, what happens? See here, r equals to 2 is whether phi is greater than equals to 2. Yes. So what happens? You get inside this for loop, right? Then you have to go with the decremented value of space. SP equals to 3. You could see what we have. SP equals to 3. Once you come inside, r equals to 1. So second iteration, r equals to 2. As it is incremented, 5 greater than equals to 2. This for loop, sp equals to 3, 3 greater than 1. So 3 spaces will be printed. When it see for which spaces it will print 2 greater than 1, 1 greater than 0 greater than 1, decrement loop, no? So it will come out. By this time you have 3 spaces. Then what you have to do, this for loop will iterate 2 times. First iteration it will print 1. See, this is already there. Remember, this is already there. So next iteration 3 space with 1. Second iteration 3 space with 1, 2. Third iteration it comes out. After that what happens, it again it has to print 1, no? See, for x equals to 2, and this for loop again for decrement printing 1. So after this 1 space again it prints 1, 2. Again it will print 1 over here. Now I'll just resize, you'll understand this. See here, 1, 2. By this time, so this is what this I have traced it for your knowledge. Second iteration like this, it will iterate. Outer for loop will iterate for 5 times. By that time you'll get the output like this. So this you have to understand. So it is up to you to communicate whether have you followed it or not. If you could communicate, I can give you a solution for it, or else I simply go on one way, right? So I asked you to communicate. Either you could message me personally whether you have followed it or not regarding the iterations of pyramid program, any other programs. Tomorrow also I will go with the array program and the few of the iterations needed for examination, right? So let me stop the today's session. So those who have not given the attendance can give the attendance in the chat session. And any queries you could communicate. If you have any doubts, you could communicate. If you don't have a queries, you can leave the session as of now. Okay, okay, fine. So let me stop this session. Okay, those who have not given can give the attendance in the chat session and can leave the session as of now. Thank you.